Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Vintage Story with Fish. You can see it's a foggy day. Every once in a while, there's a weird thing in the game where there's a fog when fall comes and it just creeps into the house no matter whether you have doors or whatever shut. I know there's mods to get rid of it in the house. I might try to do it because it is quite annoying. Anyways, let me show you how to do a little bit of smithing. What I've done is I've already processed a bunch of steel into something called ingots. And what I'd like to do is if you look at my armor here, my armor has some damage. I've already repaired these a little bit. They could be repaired a little more. I don't know if I want to spend it just for that little bit, but I didn't think my helmet would need it. So I'm going to repair that. It requires, if you look at the help, it requires a steel chain, a steel plate, and a piece of leather. So each of these are 2 ingots apiece. So we're going to take 4 ingots and throw them on the fire or the forge. Let's take some coal. We'll use brown coal. You really only need 2 pieces to heat this up to a workable temperature. We're going to start that on fire. Now, earlier I poured some Malachalakis. It's a funny word to say. What it is it's a mixture of lead and copper. It's used only in the game for either signs or for making lanterns. So I wanted to make a bunch more of these black looking lanterns. So and it's also cheap because lead's cheap to get. It doesn't cost you anything like copper. So this is something that you could actually smelt and pour. Steel, you have to work on the forge. It's not something that you can work up to a temperature. And oops, what is that? It's iron plate. Oh, I've got iron plate. Oh, those are iron plates. I need steel plates. Now you see, I also have these bits. These bits are for when I'm working on the forge, and you have to knock off pieces. Oh, I didn't light it. When you have to knock off pieces, instead of losing them, there's a mod that I have that keeps them. And I can actually reheat those in a crucible to a workable temperature and put it on the anvil and start working it. So it's nice when you want to repair tools. You just need a few pieces. I've also just made straight up plates or ingots out of it just to gather it all together and make it easier workable for later. As you can see, in my offhand are my tongs. Those are required to be able to pick up anything hot in the forge. So we're going to wait. Normally you do some other things while this is going on. This reminds me of the movie The Fog, when that fog rolls in and all the creepy things come in after. Now, I did do a few other things too. I had to throw a few more chests up here because my inventory was starting to bust out of these vessels that I had here. And as you can see, I've got a lot of these storage vessels. They're in a lot of ruins, and you buy them, and to me, they're like beautiful art. So when I see one that I don't have, I have to grab it. I try to display them as much as I can out places because, as I said, I do think they're really beautiful art. All right, we got some workable temperature here. Let's pick up 2. Let's turn on the Held Hammer. We are going to choose to make an iron plate. Where is this stupid iron plate? There it is, or steel plate. So you need, as I said, 2 ingots for it. All right, come on. Now this is going to not leave any pieces because it takes the full 2 ingots to make that. And I need a steel chain too, and you're going to ask, why are you making a steel plate when you need a steel chain? Well, it's easier to flatten it out and just bang out the holes on it rather than put a couple ingots on there and try to work every little piece into its place. And you'll see what I mean by that. Now, these should be hot enough coming off of here that I can just throw it on the anvil and actually start working it. Alright, let's turn this noisy thing off. Let's shut them doors. Maybe it'll help with some of the fog. And we're going to throw that on the anvil, and we're going to choose to do a steel chain. All right. Now, I also have a mod where I don't have to actually swing at every little dot now. It kind of, I'm just going to say it kind of cheats a little bit. And it just, as long as I keep on striking it, it'll pull some of the things out. It's called Napster. Use it in clay forming and some other things. And I like to take the little bits when I can to make extra arrows while it's still hot and workable. And I think I need 9 for the 6. So let's stack those bits up. We're going to bang that out. I don't know how many pieces. I think it's like 10 pieces that let you stack at a time, and then you have to keep on stacking more on there. So I think I'll have 1 bit left after this. I'll throw that with the other ones. Okay, do I have another bit? There's the ones I made earlier from when I made my other plates. So now I've got 21 of those. Why don't, while I have them now and I'm thinking about it, I'm going to grab 21 sticks. And those are my sticks I used to light the fire, but I'll steal them for this. And then I need feathers, so we'll take 21 of those. 21. And then if you go into the grid and you put that for a fletching and that for the shaft and that for the tip there, I'll have 21 arrows to add to my 33 because I lost a lot or broke a lot. Okay, so we've got that done. Now we're going to go upstairs, and I'm going to keep the tongs on me because those pieces are still hot. If you don't do that, you're going to burn your hands, but there is a bug in the game which they fixed in the newest version that allows you to craft with hot items, and then it cools them so you don't have to quench them. So what we got to do is we need to put chain here, steel plate here, and a piece of leather here. And now if you look, our helmet's at 100%. So as I said, I could probably raise this up a little bit, but this is at I don't know, about 80%, 97%. So I'm not going to waste plates just for that little bit. All right. Looks like the fog is dissipating, which is good, because that's so annoying. All right, we're going to take that off of there, put that on there for the next time we work, and let's throw on our new set of armor, well, our repaired set of armor, and take off the gambeson, which is a cloth type of armor, which was actually used and was quite effective. All right. We're all armored up. Look at that armor. That's steel. That's the highest tier that you can get in the game. It protects against tier 4. Gives a lot of protection, but there's a lot of buffs that come along with it. You are much slower. Your ability to shoot an arrow and such is diminished, as well as you have higher hunger rates. You also have slower healing time. So there's advantages and disadvantages to having both. Well, thank you for watching the video. Would like to make it as short as I can. I was just showing the process of doing some smithing and repairing the armor. Thank you for watching, and please come back